Okay, so now that you've seen the user interface, let's start to show you how do we work into this. There's a workflow that we call. Very important to use always the same method and always the same workflow that we call. You'll see when you're going to have a very busy scene, it will be very, very useful. So once again, just have a look. Like this is the modifier panel, and we can create some objects, and then don't forget to activate. I would suggest to always create your stuff from the top view or the front or the left view, never from a perspective. So you click and drag and start to create a box. In this case, you want to modify this. So you get the length, the width, and the height. If you don't know what it is, just click on those little spinners, check what it is, and I would highly recommend to always make those things nice numbers, okay, or realistic numbers. So the length is 70. I'm looking at probably a possible table over here. So 70 length, 100, and it's not inches, it's not feet, it's just units, okay? So now I got possibly a tabletop. So the thing is, always name your stuff. Make sure that you always put a name. And you see the convention that I'm using, table_top. Very, very useful when you're going to start to put materials onto this. So over here you get the move tool. If you click on that little thing, the little gizmo that we call pops up, the X, Y, and Z. When you create stuff, always try to make it center of the world. So if you right click on those spinners, it will take that object and put it at the center of the world in 3D space that we call. So in this case, it's very nice. And then let's go and just create maybe a leg. So I'm gonna make a box in this case just to show you. So I'm gonna go into the top view again because I started from the top to create stuff. And then you just click and create something that you like. You don't need to be specific because you can always change those things, the length, the width, and the height. So that's the workflow. Create the primitive, center primitive, put it into the top view or the front view or the side view, then go and modify it what you would like to have. And try to make it look realistic. Always making sure that it looks realistic. Then after that, do not forget, name your stuff. You see what I'm doing right now? It says table leg. I said tabletop earlier, table leg. And that's a convention that you always use. And then don't forget, the Control S is super important. Save often, very often, and name your files correctly. Make sure it's into data D drive. In this case, this will be a scene that we're going to start to build later on in 2 other future videos with the kitchen. So basically, make sure that you always use a workflow. Create your primitive objects, make sure that you modify it, put it at the center of the world, and name it. Always name it, okay? Because then after that, you can always set up and just play with it, put it somewhere. But it will be easy for you when you're going to start to put materials on it, okay? As far as moving them, changing them, okay?